And this kind of ladies are those big busted ladies with small body size. Please do not skip any part of this video because you do not know where this particular secret to this problem lies. Hi guys, how are you doing? You're welcome back to yet another tutorial video. If you're new here, you're most welcome. My name is Chichi for short, and if you're a returning subscriber, I love you guys. And obviously today's tutorial is a corset tutorial, but for my specially endowed sisters. Yes, I call them specially endowed because their corset making is not a cheap one, so who else could be special than them? And this kind of ladies are those big busted ladies with small body size. No doubt you have some of these ladies that are well endowed on their chest compared to their body size. Usually, if you are familiar with corset making, we know that we need the nipple to nipple measurement to always correspond with the nipple to the underbust measurement so that we can have a perfect circle for our cup for the corset. But in this case, that is not happening. So does that mean that these are special sisters do not need corsets? That is a capital no. And so I'm going to be showing us the secrets to tackling this special problem. Yes, I call it a special problem because they are special people. So I'm going to be showing us the secret on how to tackle the issue of having your breast distance not equalizing with the breast to the underbust distance when it comes to corset making. If this video is the one you are interested in, which I am so sure you are, then sit right back, relax, and have fun watching. I have my pattern paper that I'm going to be folding into two, so I have it placed on fold just like so to give me the center fold on this side. And I measure out the width to make sure that I have enough for what I want. With that being done, the first body measurement I'm going to be marking out is going to be the half waist length, which is 16 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance, making 17 inches. So this is the half waist length of 17 inches being marked out. And obviously this is the area I'm going to be working with for this corset tutorial. And next I mark out all the vertical measurements from the armhole to the half waist length, which you already have. So I'm going to be marking them out. This is the armhole, the breast point, the underbust, and of course the half waist that we already marked out. And I come to the center fold area and I do the same thing all the way down, and I have them joined together to give me a straight line from one end to the other. So I have all the vertical measurements and I have them written out as well. So the next thing is to divide the breast distance measurement by 2, but like I stated earlier, this particular bust measurement has a twist to it. This is because marking out the cup circumference the regular way is going to be an issue. This is because from the body measurement we have an unequal breast distance measurement compared to the nipple to the underbust, and we know we need to have these two to tally to have a perfect cup for any corset. But in this case that is not happening, so what are we going to do? This is why we are here. So what we're going to do is this: the measurement from the breast point to the underbust is what we are going to be using as our breast distance. The actual breast distance divided by 2 is 3.5 here, but from the breast point to the underbust we have 4.5. So we have a difference of 1 inch. So we are going to be using the distance between the breast point and the underbust as also the breast point in this case. So we have the breast distance marked out with the same measurement as the breast point to the underbust. And next we are going to be marking out our circumference, which is the measurement from the breast point to the underbust, which is 4.5. So I'm going to be marking out the 4.5 measurement all the way around to give me a complete circumference, just as you can see. And having marked the 4 inches all the way, I'm going to be joining all the points together to give me a perfect circumference, and this is how I go about that. And from the size of the circumference you can tell already that this bust is a big one. Okay, so this is our complete circumference. This is what it looks like. And next, at this breast point line I come in by half an inch, and at the underbust, because this is a big bust, I'm going to be coming up by just half an inch. This is to enable us have a cup that can accommodate the bust as much as it can. And then I'll be connecting these 2 points together. So I have to reverse the paper so that I can conveniently do that. So I have the 2 points connected together. Please guys, sorry I'm not going to be using a curve rule to do this. My free hand gives me a better curve than the curve rule, so please pardon that. So I have that connected. Next I'm going to be connecting these points to the upper bust area, so I carefully do that as well. So I have that connected, and next I'm going to be connecting from the under bust to the armhole area, so I have that done as well. So this is the connection from the under bust to the armhole side, but I'm going to be extending it to get to the armhole proper. So this is the extension of this to the armhole area. And finally, we are going to be connecting from the armhole area back to the upper bust area. So this is the connection going on right here. And with that, we are done with the cup shaping. So coming down to the under bust area, I'm going to be marking 1 inch between the breast distance line, and also at the half waist length, I mark the same 1 inch between the breast distance line. And at the upper bust area as well, I mark the same 1 inch between the breast distance line, touching the circle of course. So I'm going to be connecting all these points to meet at the breast point. But I'll first of all connect the under bust to the half waist length. Then I come back to connecting all other points from the under bust to the breast point and the upper bust to the breast point as well. And here is how I go about the connections from the under bust across the breast point to the upper bust, and from the upper bust across the breast point down to the under bust as well. It's like a crisscross thing. So this is how I go about the connection, and this is what we have. And now it's time to draft out the yoke area of the corset, and to do that, I'm going to be dividing the shoulder measurement by 2 plus 2 inches, and that is the shoulder of 15 inches divided by 2 plus 2 inches. So this is what I have marked out to give me the armhole for the yoke area. So here we have the shoulder divided by 2 plus 2 inches line, and on this line I mark out my armhole. So here is the armhole mark out, and next is the neckline mark out. But before I do that, I'm going to be taking out this straight line here because it's no longer useful. So I'm going to be taking that out just like this. And with this, I can now mark out a deep V neckline of 3.5 inches wide and 8 inches deep. So I have the neckline of 3.5 and 8 inches. And I have that connected to give me the neckline mark out. And after the neckline, I come down to the shoulder slant area. So I come down at the shoulder area by 3/4 of an inch, and then I slant it to the base of the neckline to give me the shoulder slant. And now it's time to impute all the body circumference measurement divided by 4 plus the seam allowance. And starting with the bust measurement divided by 4 plus seam allowance. So the bust measurement divided by 4 gave me 10 inches plus 2 inches seam allowance. You can use 2.5. And then I come down to the under bust measurement. If you have been following my bustier and corset tutorials, you understand that I do not use the under bust band measurements. I only add 1/4 of an inch to whatever I have at the bust area. So I come down to the under bust, and then I add 1/4 of an inch to whatever I have already at the bust. And then I come down to the half waist length measurement as well. I add 1/4 of an inch to what I have at the under bust, and that is if the waist measurement is more than the under bust round. But if not, you mark exactly what you have at the under bust right at the half waist length. And after which I connect the points together to give me the shape by the side. So this is what the front part is looking like at the end of the pattern drafting. Please remember that we still have a balance to strike, that is balancing the measurement between the breast distance and then the breast point to the under bust. But before that will be taken care of, I'll be cutting along this part, that's the sides, without the corset area, so that I can use it to cut the back before I come back to cutting the corset area. This is just the basic bodies I am cutting out without cutting the corset area. This is because I do not want to mark the back all from the beginning separately. So I'll just be placing this front pattern on the back, adding just 1/2 an inch to the zipper allowance area. This is because all the seam allowances are added to the corset area is enough to take care of the seam allowances for the back as well, including the dart and everything. So I am not going to be marking the back separately, so I just cut the back out just like so. So by the time you take the back measurement, you might be having like from 1/2 to 1 inch even more than you need. So there's no need for me to mark separately. So what I need to do to the back is just to mark out the neckline, having in mind that I have a zipper allowance of 1.5 inch. So by the time I measure my shoulder, I have everything intact. So the back is well taken care of. And with that being done, I come back to the front pattern, and then I proceed to cutting out all I have to cut as far as the corset and the yoke is concerned. But I'll first of all be cutting out the yoke area of this corset. So I cut along just like this. So watch carefully how I cut the yoke area. So I'm going to be cutting along this part before I come back to cutting the corset proper. And so I also cut along the neckline, and with that the yoke area is fully cut. And then I come back to the corset area, and then you can see how I am cutting along the corset area. So I cut out, and I also come and cut out the cup area just like so, and then I cut also the second cup area just like so. So with that, we have our corset all pieces out, and then I number them for easy identification. And at this point, I can now adjust the breast distance measurement to what it should be. The cup obviously is in two parts, this one that tends towards the armhole area of the body and this other one that tends towards the center part of the body. And for this one that tends towards the center part of the body, I'm going to be reducing the breast point line. So I pick it up and then I mark ½ inch all the way, just like so. And after I'm done marking it out, I connect the points together to give me a new line marked out. And after that, I cut along just what I already marked out to give us a new measurement for this center part of the cup. So this is what we have now. And with this new cup, we should have a breast distance that is very, very close to the actual breast distance of the body, because the initial one would have given us a very broad breast distance, which is going to look very funny on the bust measurement. But with this, we have a closer breast distance, even though not exactly the 7.5, but something between 7.5 and 8 inches, which is very fine. So this is how you go about an unequal breast distance and breast to the under bust measurements. And now coming back to the complete front pattern, let me arrange them to show us what we should be expecting at this point of the pattern drafting. I'm holding one of the cups together so that we can have a picture of what the new cup looks like. And this is what we have for one of the cups. So let me place them together so that we can have a complete picture of what we should be expecting from this corset. So with the new adjustment to the cup, we have a breast distance of about 7.5 and 8 inches, which isn't bad at all compared to the initial 9 inches breast distance that we had from the beginning. And with that, our corset patterns are fully ready. So let's proceed to cutting of the fabric. And in doing that, I'm not going to be adding any seam allowances to this part and also to this other part, because that is already taken care of from the beginning. I'm only going to be adding ½ an inch to this part and also this other part. Remember that the seam allowances for the side and the down part is already taken care of. So I carefully mark out the ½ inch seam allowances for this other side. So I mark that out and then I have it cut out just like so. This is what we have, and I place aside and come to the next one. And I'll also be adding ½ inch seam allowances to this side, except for the center foot, which is obviously on fold, and the lower part, like I said earlier, I've already taken care of that. So I mark out the ½ inch and then I cut along as well, just as you can see. And coming to the cup area of the corset, I'm going to be adding ½ inch to all sides of the cup, unlike the other part I already cut. And then I mark that out on all sides of the cup and proceed to cutting it out. And I do exactly the same to the second cup. And this is what we have after I'd ironed, stay and wadding on all the parts necessary. And then I proceed with the stitching, starting with the cup area. So I'm going to be stitching down the cup area just like so. And after I'm done that, this is what it looks like. And then I notch and turn over. And after doing that, you can see how beautiful the cup is coming out even without ironing already. Like I said, this hasn't been ironed, but we can attest to the fact that this is coming out really beautiful. This is what it looks like, and on the inside, this is what we have before ironing. And after ironing, this is what our beautiful cup looks like. Can you see how beautiful and roundish this is coming out? This is ready to accommodate the bust, guys. This is ready to accommodate its bust. And this is what we have for our corset. So for your unequal breast distance and breast point to the under bust measurements, I'm sure you will no longer be scared of how to go about that at this point of this video. And then to couple all the points together, I get the lower part of the corset area and then I arrange them just like so, and I place the cups where necessary. And guys, you stitch down together, and believe me guys, at the end of the day, you're going to have a perfect, beautiful looking corset. And measuring the breast distance, guys, I must say that I am very pleased with the breast distance measurement I now have. So guys, my corset is ready. Let's see what the final beautiful gorgeous look looks like. And guys, I'm sure you can tell that her excitement knows no bound to have her bust well seated in her corset without any form of struggles. Thank you guys for watching. Please do consider subscribing if you haven't done so. Give this video a huge like. Please share and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. See you in my next one. Bye.